Mr. Mohammed Faisal Manap.
Question 8, please, sir.
Mr. Speaker, MOM takes a serious view of all forms of workplace discrimination. Some forms of discrimination, including those related to gender and ethnicity, are more readily substantiated by specific actions such as verbal utterances or written job advertisements. In cases involving such discrimination and substantiated through investigation, MOM can and has debarred the errant employers from making work pass applications without first putting them on a watch list. For cases where discrimination involves nationality bias, which is less readily apparent, MOM puts the employer on a watch list and scrutinizes their work pass applications for irregularities. We may subsequently debar them if they fail to cooperate to improve their human resource practices. We expect all employers to abide by the principles of fair and merit-based employment practices outlined in the Tripartite Guidelines on Fair Employment Practices. The Tripartite Alliance for Fair and Progressive Employment Practices, TAFEP, will engage companies on whom we have received complaints or feedback and guide them to improve their employment practices.
Mr. Leon Pereira.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank the SPS for answer. Just one supplementary, or perhaps two supplementary questions. How many companies are currently on the watch list for discriminatory practices, and what proportion of those companies on the watch list are there for nationality-based discriminatory practices as opposed to suspected discriminatory practices on other dimensions? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the member for his supplementary question. I would like to recap that the PQ that was raised by Mr. Faisal Manap was to ask whether could a watch list be set up for companies that engage in discriminatory employment practices not related to nationality but to other attributes such as gender and ethnicity. And I would like to assure the member that all employers are required to abide by the Tripartite Guidelines on Fair Employment Practices to uphold fair employment practices that are open, merit-based, and also non-discriminatory. Now, where guidelines are breached, such as where there is discrimination on the basis of gender or ethnicity, TAFEP will then report such cases to MOM. And MOM will then impose sanctions, which can be issuing stern warnings or even curtailing the work pass privileges of the employers, and that has direct impact on the employers. So actually, when it comes to any feedback on discrimination, work discrimination about gender or ethnicity, I've explained earlier that perhaps because it's a bit more readily apparent, in fact, we don't even need to wait for a watch list. TAFEP will report to MOM, and we can curtail the work pass privileges of the employers. So that actually is taking that's even more direct impact than putting up a watch list. But having said that, I would want to reassure the member that MOM works very closely with TAFEP, employers, and also HR practitioners to build inclusive workplaces and to eradicate any form of work discrimination. And we urge workers who face any such occurrences, whether gender, ethnicity, or even nationality bias, to please promptly report the matter to TAFEP or MOM. We will certainly take every feedback that's surfaced to us. Any complaint, we'll take it very seriously and investigate them very thoroughly.